So, okay, so we are live.
We are live.
Okay, so yeah, we're live now, everybody. So I'll, Mr. Chair, if you'd like to start us off.
Sure. Okay, all right. Well, welcome to the September meeting of Perth County Land Division. We will call this meeting to order, and I would ask our secretary to do the attendance check.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I'll call out members by name, and if you could please respond to indicate present. So Councillor Hurlick. Councillor Eggets.
Present.
Councillor Duncan.
Present.
And Councillor McKenzie.
Present.
And I have indication that Councillor Aitchison will be absent for today's meeting. So with the membership indicating their presence, we do have quorum, Mr. Chair.
Okay, very good. So the first item on the agenda then is actually the confirmation of the agenda. So we need a motion that the September 28th agenda be approved. So I'm looking for a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Hurlick, second by Councillor Eggets. And I guess I turn it over to our secretary for the vote.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Councillor Hurlick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Eggets, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Duncan, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Councillor McKenzie, how do you vote?
Yes. So I would say the results of that vote is that it's carried. Does anybody have a conflict of interest with anything on the agenda as it was circulated? Okay, if not, then the first item then is adoption of the previous minutes from August the 31st. And they were circulated in that. So I would ask for a mover and seconder to adopt those minutes. Councillor Duncan. And Councillor Eggets. Thank you. And Dave, I'll let you do the poll.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Councillor Hurlick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Eggets, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Duncan, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Councillor McKenzie, how do you vote?
Yes. So again, the results of that vote is carried. Moving on then, under reports, the first item that we have is new pending and final approved, withdrawn and delegated authority approved applications. So Dave, I'll turn that part over to you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Through the Chair for the committee. So on starting on page 7 of our agenda, we have a report concerning new pending, final approved, withdrawn and delegated authority approved applications. To update the committee from our last meeting, we are currently reporting that we have 15 applications under the new category. This accounts for newly received applications that are either under review or have been deemed complete, as well as applications that have been circulated for public comment, but for which no decision has been rendered as yet. We have 7 applications that are found under the category of pending. This list of applications accounts for those that have been deemed not to be complete and are awaiting further justification materials and or direction, as well as applications that may be found to require prerequisite Planning Act applications. We have 2, since our last reporting, we have 2 applications which have been final approved, those being applications for which a certificate of official and final correspondence have been issued. And lastly, we have 6 applications which have been approved under delegated approval authority as per County of Perth bylaw 3761/2020. So that is the summary of the contents of the report. I'd be happy to answer any questions that members of committee have concerning the contents of the report. And I see Councillor Hurlick has his hand up currently.
Look under, I think if you look under B number 15 there's a bit of an address mix up. You'll see there and it's that planing one in Wood. It says Ellis Ward, Perth East. Number 15, I believe it was. Just hold on. Yeah, you see that there, David?
Is it application, through the chair, Councillor Hurlick, is it application B1519 you're referring to?
B4520.
B4520. Oh, yes, I see it here. Yeah, that is a typo. The address is a typo in that case. So we'll make a correction for the purpose of the minutes. Thanks for catching that. That is the wrong address indicated. The remainder of the description is correct, if I recall correctly, but the address is incorrect.
No worries.
Any other questions for Dave on that report? Good catch, Darryl. I went through that, but it was late at night when I did it.
I think we all have.
Okay, if there's no further questions, then a motion would be in order that we receive that report of new pending, final approved, withdrawn, and delegated authority approved applications. So mover and seconder for that, please. Moved by Councillor Duncan, second by Councillor Hurlick. All those in favor? Oh, sorry, I will do that. Dave? Of course I have it.
Yeah. So through the chair, Councillor Hurlick, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Eggerts, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Duncan, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Councillor McKenzie, how do you vote?
Yes. So the results of that vote is carried unanimously. Next item up is number 6, and that's appeals, and B67-19 Silverstream. So Dave, you can give us a little bit of info on that one.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair, for members of committee, we do have one outstanding appeal currently on the books for application B67-19. Just to update, we're on the status of that appeal. The appeal package was sent to the Local Planning Appeal Tribunal on July 21st, 2020. Materials have been submitted. We don't have any further correspondence received to date in response to the submission package, but we will update the committee moving forward as to any developments on that file. But I don't have any further update other than to say that the package was submitted just over 2 months ago now, and we don't have any further direction from the tribunal as yet. So,
okay, thanks, David. There, the other one that's out there, though. Oh, Rhonda, you have a question. Go ahead.
Maybe you're going to ask about the one that I'm asking about. I'm wondering about
Probably.
the Wilson.
Yes, I
I'm
was
wondering
going to
about the
ask
Wilson
that.
one. Yeah, where is it at?
through the chair, Councillor Eggerts, I don't have any update on that file currently. Although the manager of planning is present in the room with us today, and Ms. McMullen could provide further update on that file.
Morning, everybody.
Hey, Sally.
How are you?
Good, good.
Good. So the official plan amendment for that file is has been appealed by the province, and it is in process. We have had a bit of correspondence from the county's lawyer has received a bit of correspondence from the applicant's lawyer, and there is some talks right now about where to go next. So the applicant themselves is considering subsequent amendments, perhaps. They're just trying to sort that out. So there is some movement on this one, but there's no resolve as yet. And I think right now it's mostly conversations between lawyers. The tribunal itself hasn't scheduled any dates for that one.
Okay, very
So
good. Thank
I
you.
should follow up that the consent therefore is kind of hanging in limbo because of that.
Right. And the meter is running on the lawyers.
Yes, but, yeah. Being paid, we cash flow that stuff, but it is, the responsibility of the applicant.
Right, right. Okay, any other questions for either Sally or David? Okay. I guess, do we need a motion for that? Number 6, the appeals?
No motions required for that, Chair.
Okay, all right. Okay, any other business to come before this committee at this time?
We have no further business at the present time, Chair.
Okay, thank you. So our next meeting will be November the 2nd at, I assume at 9:30 in the morning. I guess I'm assuming at this time, will this be a Zoom meeting, David, or will this be in person?
Through the Chair for Committee's information, we are planning that it would be a remote session, similar to what we've held today. And just in addition to that, we are tentatively planning to perhaps bring forward a draft schedule for 2021, possibly on that date for committee's consideration, just to consider what the meeting dates will be for the following calendar year. But we'll confirm that the presence of that on the agenda for the next meeting.
Right, okay, all right, thanks, David. Okay, if there is nothing else, then at this stage of the game, a motion to adjourn. Could be the shortest land division committee meeting on record here, I'm not sure, but look for a mover and seconder. Councillor Hurlick, Councillor Agates, David, I guess you take the vote here.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Councillor Hurlick, how do you vote? Councillor Agates, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councillor Duncan, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Councillor McKenzie, how do you vote?
Yes, so I guess the results of that motion is that we're officially adjourned, so thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Short meeting.